Great city, Montreal, the original Sin City, and now consistently a great fight night. First up on Friday Night Fights, we're going to go 4 rounds of cruiserweights. And the unbeaten Pole, Lucas Janik, is taking on Martin Hudon. There is Martin Hudon. Comes from right here in Quebec. He is 2-1-1, both wins by way of knockout. 30 years old, goes 6'2", 194 and a half. And from Poland comes 24-year-old Lucas Janik, 6'3", 197 pounds. He is 11-0. Most of his fights taking place in Germany. He's coming off a first-round TKO win on December 13th. And Michael Griffin is the referee. They're scheduled for 4.
All right, gentlemen, you both received my instructions. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands. I want you to touch gloves now. We're boxing at the bell. Good luck, man.
So for Lucas Janik, his first fight in North America. Told you most of his work done in Germany. His TKO win that happened in December, that was the only fight he's had in his native Poland. He's also fought in Switzerland and Russia.
Hudon has not won in his last 2 fights, a loss and a draw. And if Hudon's going to get a win and stop that pattern, it'll be from the southpaw stance. He's a lefty.
Comes straight in, tried to put a left hand to the body. Janik testing the range with that jab here. And now jabs to the body of Hudon. Able to land a right hand to the body on that exchange.
Hudon turned pro late, 30 years old.
That was last March. He had 4 fights last year. This is his first fight of 2009. Opened up his career with a TKO win, first round TKO win last March, and then came back with a first round knockout in May. Then the draw in September, and a 4-round decision loss at the end of November.
Usually, not always, but usually when a fighter starts late, turns pro late, he didn't have a lot of development, a lot of amateur fights. When a fighter turns pro young, usually he's had a lot of amateur development.
In the case of Hudon, he waited quite a while before he turned pro. He lingered throughout his entire 20s, stretching out 69 amateur fights, Teddy, over 13 years. Had his first amateur fight at 17 and didn't turn pro until last year. Now he's 30 years old.
Janik has the advantage in amateur experience, had about 120. And right there, Janik does a pretty good job of going upstairs to set up the hook downstairs.
Janik misses with that right hand over the top as Hudon ducked down to his left side.
Janik looks like the physically stronger fighter. Look for him to continue to look to push the fight. And Hudon to stay on the outside, try to pick up what he can from the edges.
Yeah, Janik in the white trunks, he packs a lot onto that 6'3", 197-pound frame. He looks to be in better physical shape than Hudon. Hudon has fought as low as 174 and as high as 203 pounds. Tonight, 194 and a half.
Well, if I'm in the corner of Janik, I've seen 1 round. I'm telling my charge, go to the body. Hudon is soft down there.
And the unbeaten Pole scores well here at the end of round number 1 on Friday Night Fights. Glad you're with us for this extended version of Friday Night Fights here from Montreal. Starting off 4 rounds of cruiserweight action. And the man in the white trunks is Lucas Janik. He is from Poland, 11-0, 24 years old, and making his North American debut here. He started his amateur career at age 14. And he is a student back in Poland, taking college courses, but now pursuing his boxing career here as a pro in North America.
Hudon, being a southpaw, might be able to use what sometimes is the most effective, the most dangerous weapon for a southpaw against an orthodox fighter like Janik, that right hook. Because the orthodox fighter, he's not used to seeing that punch come from that angle. And sometimes he can't pick it up. That might be a good punch for Hudon.
3 straight left hands to the body for Lucas Janik. And now charging in, and he caught him with a right hand. Then the uppercut comes through, and you can see Janik gaining confidence to let those hands go.
Well, right now the man's throwing more punches and harder punches and confident punches. Janik, the undefeated fighter, the bigger fighter. You know, we've talked about the soft stomach of Hudon. I think he probably belongs at a lower weight. He turned pro 190, then he dropped to 174, light heavyweight.
Yeah, he looks like he could take that off, Teddy, doesn't he? He looks like he should be at 175.
Yeah, and then after that fight at 174, he went back up to 203. Tonight he's 194 and a half. And Janik has consistently stayed between 197, which he's tonight, and 201 pounds.
Janik coming with some crashing, thudding blows here in this round. A little reckless with that right hand for a moment.
Well, that's the problem with crashing blows. Sometimes you fall off balance. Janik, not good technique there. Put his whole body behind it when he missed. He was out of position, but he didn't pay a price. There's that right hook from the southpaw that I was calling for from Hudon. Might be his only chance.
On the break, he snuck in a left uppercut, but moments ago you saw that one opportunity. Teddy, you laid that out perfectly, and it was there for a moment for him. That right hook from the left-hander.
Some swelling under the left eye now of Hudon, who's had the worst of it tonight.
Charging in with the straight right hand again is the unbeaten Pole.
See, that's the key. That's the key, what you just said. If I'm a trainer, I make him watch this tape and say, I don't want to hear the commentator say charging.
That's what he's doing. Yeah.
Working his way in. I don't want to hear those guys saying charging.
There was that right hook again, opposite that jab of Janik, but it's a big round for the unbeaten Pole as he continues to send those left hands to the body. End of round 2, scheduled for 4 in Montreal. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you ringside in Montreal. It's a good card here on Friday Night Fights, opening up with cruiserweights. Our main event tonight, coming up later, will be a 12-round IBF title fight at 140 pounds between recent titleist Juan Urango and Montreal-based fighter Herman Ingucho.
Look, I think it's safe to say Hudon's not winning a decision. He's going to need a knockout or a knockdown. Even though we're only at the midway point, we only have 2 rounds to go, and the younger guy doesn't look like he's going to all of a sudden start running out of gas, mentally or physically. So he has to zero in on something, Hudon. And again, the opportunity is going to come when it's distance like now. Janik sometimes will reach in a little bit. That will be the opportunity maybe for Hudon to throw that right hook. Again, the punch that an orthodox fighter like Janik doesn't always see coming. He's not used to seeing that punch in the gym. His eyes are not, adjusted to that.
Right hand, and then tried to slide to the side and land a right uppercut.
Again, I think there's going to have to be distance if Hudon's going to pull off that punch I'm talking about. He's going to have to catch Janik as he comes. Once he's inside, Janik uses his physicality to keep Hudon defensive.
Referee Michael Griffin is going to dole out the warning for the low blow.
Could have been by accident, and it could have been to slow down this bigger, younger fighter. Don't think fighters don't do that. They're human.
Hands are free.
Old flicking jab from Hudon to work his way to the inside. And now Lukas Janik turns things around as Hudon covers up. Gets a little bit of head movement.
But right now, Janik, one of his flaws, and we're not seeing a flaw because
it's not being exposed by the other guy.
Yeah, it's one-sided right now, and there's one man pitching, there's one man catching. But Janik squares up when he gets inside. Right there, squares
here it is. Watch that right foot come forward there.
And when that, see, there it is. When that right foot slides in like that, there's a lot of surface to find and not a lot of balance on the part of the undefeated fighter. If he keeps doing that, he might not stay undefeated. Tonight he may, but down the road he may not.
Hands are free, guys.
A lot for Janik just to take away from these 3 rounds of you analyzing him. A lot of improvements to be made for the unbeaten fighter. He is in control with 1 round to go. End of 3. Thanks, BK. Looking forward to hearing what Brian Kenny and Bernardo Osuna have to say.
Touch gloves, touch gloves, touch gloves.
Last week's Margarito Mosley fight, and you can see that swelling around the left eye of Martin Hudon is now more pronounced. And a 4th and final round. Lukas Janik getting a good look at him. His first fight in North America, 11-0. He's from Poland, 24 years old, 6'3", 197. And he likes to send that left hook to the body, and now he's splitting the guard with a right hand as Hudon is in the corner. Going after it, hot and heavy here. A big right hand crashed home in the middle of that combination. And Hudon is not throwing back, and Michael Griffin stops the fight.
Too big, too strong, too many punches.
Much too much of Lukas Janik for Martin Hudon. Just came out on a mission there in round number 4. Gave you a glimpse of the damage that had already been done through 9 previous minutes to the eye of Hudon, and you can see that left eye just fully closed at this point. As his corner man, Daniel Deshays, is working on it already.
Well, here's the end and the beginning of the round. Janik knows he has what he has in front of him after 3 rounds. A guy who can't hurt him, a guy who's defensive-minded, a guy who's small, a guy who's a little soft, a guy who can jump on, stay on, keep delivering until that happens. Take one more look. Janik, the undefeated fighter, comes in on the southpaw, goes to the body, goes back upstairs, takes a little step back and throws that left hook. That was the best punch I saw all night. He took a little step back and used a little ingenuity to set up that punch that really rocked Hudon, and then the rest was just window dressing. Just a matter of time.
For the official particulars, let's send it up to the ring to Chris Gauthier.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Michael Griffin stops this bout at 40 seconds of the 4th round. L'arbitre Michael Griffin stoppe le combat à 40 secondes du 4e round. Le gagnant par KO technique. The winner of this battle by TKO, Lukas Janik.
I like that. The knockout de technique. 4th round TKO victory for Lukas Janik. He is now 12-0 with 6 knockouts, getting rid of Martin Hudon. Our main event, 140-pound title on the line between Urango and Ngujo. For now, we send it back to BK and Bernardo Osuna.